We heard from Mike Dunleavy Jr. yesterday. Larry Harris, assistant GM. We'll get all that stuff going on here. Just kind of talk about Jordan Poole and turn the page on him. And look, man, Jordan Poole's going to be one of those polarizing players. He is. And I really find it fascinating, Shasky, at this time last year, the way we're talking about Jordan Poole as a borderline starter. Maybe he should play for Clay, start for Clay. He's explosive. You think about the pool parties we were having last March, last May, last June. And now he's gone just like that. And we heard from him, and, he said he'll always have that relationship with Steph and Clay, and didn't really talk about Draymond Green. Actually didn't talk about it at all. Talked about the special teams they're trying to build at Washington. It's just going to be fascinating to see how people remember Jordan Poole as a Golden State Warrior. Are people over him? I've seen some of the comments saying, Jordan Poole's lucky he played with Steph. That's why he sells jerseys. Jordan Poole, forget him. Stop talking about him. I mean, he's a polarizing figure, and he's gone now. And a lot of people love JP. There's no doubt about that. A lot of people loved him.
Who's going to be more loved long term? Like, when we look back 10 years from now, you think Jimmy G or Jordan Poole?
Oh, that's a great question. That is an excellent question.
Because I think moving off both guys, you can make a point that, although very different, being the quarterback and being, whether we thought he was going to be the heir apparent to Steph, right. Some might have thought that. Some might have thought he was just a six-man or a role player. Whatever you think. I know the roles are different. But, like, at one point in time, we loved both players.
Yeah.
Both fan bases loved both players. And I think jersey sales is a great point that you bring up. And I mean, to be top 15 on a team with a guy who's going to be top 3 no matter what happens in Steph Curry, that's pretty impressive. We saw the numbers year after year. Jimmy G was one of the hottest selling jerseys in football for years, whether he was healthy or not. Both guys, not perfect players, both guys beloved, and then all of a sudden it felt like the fan base, not that they turned on them, but it was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
And now they're both in different spots. And so I find it to be very interesting.
Yeah, the way I'll remember JP is a guy who came in as a rookie, probably wasn't ready to play in the NBA at the age of 20. He was on that god-awful team that won 15 games. I went to a lot of those home games, Shasky. Those games were over midway through the first quarter. And the guy was just awful. I mean, shooting 28% from the three. He had no handle. It's like, what position he's going to play? Is he going to play? I didn't
think he was an NBA player.
Yeah, I was just like, oh boy, that's a bad draft pick.
I tried to defend it. Me and Covey were doing those post games back then, and it was so hard to defend him. We would field calls after call after call. He's not an NBA player.
Yeah.
And everybody thought Eric Paschall was the man.
We all did. Eric Paschall, somebody you could build around.
You know what I called him,
He's going to fit a good black hole?
No, I called him the square button.
Why? Oh,
because the square button was jammed.
Yeah.
That fool ain't seen a shot he didn't like. Every time he touched the rock, head down, I'm shooting.
But you know what? You know what, though? He was the only guy who was willing to shoot at that team.
No doubt.
I mean,
no doubt. That team was terrible.
That team was terrible.
Kai Bowman was one of their best players.
I know.
How bad was that year?
I mean, that year was terrible.
Kai Bowman.
It was terrible. But you know what?
I
Jordan
totally
Poole,
forgot about him.
He goes to the G League. He remakes himself, revitalizes himself, and now he's gone for Chris Paul, who a lot of people are complaining about. Something we'll get into in a second. But it's just like, wow, it feels incomplete to me. Feels like, damn.
JP?
Did we see the best of him in a Warrior uniform? Did we see the best of him in the NBA career? You're not, a lot of Warrior fans like James C _ 1982 is just losing his mind right now. It's like, dude, 6:52, take a bong rip and relax. You know James C _ 1982 and the rest of you who hate on Jordan Poole like Mustafa Ward, you're going to pay attention to the box score because every time Jordan Poole goes 5 of 20, you're going to say, see, we got rid of him. Thank God we got rid of him. He's a volume shooter. He stinks. And Warrior fans who didn't want to get rid of him, who love him for his professionalism last season by not talking about what happened in training camp, they're going to say, boy, we gave up on Jordan Poole too early.
You're seeing this right now, and I can't believe I'm going to bring this guy's name up, but like Brandon Belt, forever, the Giants were afraid to move off Brandon Belt because they thought the fan base would lose their minds if he hit 30 somewhere else. And now he's in Toronto. It's the end of the train tracks. Do you even give a rip about what Brandon Belt does? I don't know. Sam Lubman may because he's a Brandon Belt fan. I don't give two rips what he does.
Well, you give two rips about what Poole or Wiseman does. Wiseman's kind of turning the page. I think we're kind of moving on from that.
I think given where the Warriors are at, where they're trying to win a championship, to me, it's almost irrelevant what JP does.
Yeah.
I'm hyper focused on what the Warriors do. I think they're in control of their own destiny, and if they succeed with Chris Paul, then that will be a successful move. If they do not cash in on a championship, no matter how bad JP plays on the other side, the move itself will be considered a bad move because you could have got something else.
Right.
That's, I think, how people are going to classify it.
A lot of people think the Warriors so low on Jordan Poole. A lot of people do. National media, some people here, they believe that they could have got more for Jordan Poole. I don't know if you could have with that contract.